What does that mean, that magic sound? It's a magic sound, America. It's a magic sound because neither rain nor sleet nor frigid snow nor Arctic sub-zero temperatures will keep this dynamic duo at bay. That's right, America. It is a THC Thursday. Oh, you know what we did before we got on the air. The redoubtable one himself. He might need two tonight, given what the hell the Mets have been doing. The highly questionable one. It is IDD for those. I don't disagree. Segment 1, hot stove baseball. And why not? Because what the fuck is going on with your New York Mets? I'm just going to put it on T, and let's see how far he and Poppy can hit it. So, Tom, without further ado, the floor is yours.
Well, the New York Mets are gutted, basically. In the past 3 weeks, past 2 days, obviously, we lost Diaz, the best closer in baseball, and Pete Alonso, the best home run hitter to ever grace the New York Mets franchise.
And one of the best first baseman hitters in baseball.
He is the leader.
Yeah.
Locker room in the clubhouse. Well, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
And 2 weeks ago, they traded away another foundational piece in Brandon Nimmo. Okay. And I don't know if you're familiar with this, RJ. Have you heard of the 5 stages of grief?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so for those of you who might not be in tune,
I think every real sports fan has heard of the 5 stages of grief because we've all been there. So you're not a real sports fan until you've gone through the 5 stages of grief.
Well, but it really comes from life, and grieving in life.
True, but sports fans always find a way to bring it back.
But here are the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Okay, and believe it or not, I think I'm in the bargaining phase right now. Okay?
That's where you are. Okay.
I'm not much of a denier. And in these situations, you can't really deny it. Once it's reported, it's fact. You can't say, no, this isn't happening, but that's a part of grieving. Sometimes you don't want to believe it.
Sure.
So when I saw things prior to it happening with Diaz, that the Dodgers might get Diaz, yes, I denied. No way. We're not going to let him go there. Then when I heard we probably weren't going to sign Pete, again, I denied. And then as they happened, that's when the anger hits. And it's immediately, David Stearns is a dumb fuck. David Stearns is a Mets GM.
Yes.
Kind of president of baseball operations, kind of a boy genius. He was in Milwaukee running the show there for years as they've been in the playoffs, running a small market team, figuring out how to keep a team competitive
when they didn't have the money
for a decade. Not winning anything, but being in the playoffs, being competitive. So and he grew up a Met fan. Yeah. So when Steve Cohen became the owner of the Mets, it was a no-brainer for him. That was his guy. So he picked him. They're both Met fans, obviously.
Yeah.
So, my anger quickly switched to, fuck you, David Stearns. What the fuck are you doing? Okay. Nimmo, gone. Pete, gone. Diaz, gone. And the first thing you think of as a sports fan is like, how do we replace that?
Yeah.
Nimmo's a 20 and change home run guy.
Yep.
Pete's a 35 to 40 to 50 home run guy. Diaz is a 40 save guy.
That's a lot of...
That's production.
That's a lot of...
Okay? So the initial thing is like, what the fuck are you doing? Because you have supposedly the richest owner in baseball, the richest solo owner. The richest ownership group is the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Because they have a bunch of billionaires.
Oh, they have.
So they're owned by a group that I think is worth hundreds of billions.
Is a minority owner on that group, and he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
And he's a minority.
Right. So they're owned by a group that's
a legion of billionaires.
Exactly. And apparently that group is worth 300 to 400 billion, something like that. So, but Steve Cohen is the richest solo owner in baseball. So you think, well, the Dodgers can't sign Edwin Diaz over us. We offered him 3 years, 66. We said, hey, there's wiggle room. He went to the Dodgers, and the Dodgers offered him 3 for 69, and he never went back to check in with the Mets.
He went to the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm. To the best team in baseball.
I know he went there.
He pulled a Kevin Durant.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's funny you said that.
Now,
Gutless. Dickless.
Now look,
Dickless.
I don't completely hate him for that because
$3 million.
afterwards it came out that he was pissed at them for firing the pitching coach. He was also mad that they signed a closer 2 weeks ago, Devin Williams. And that's the closer that Pete Alonso hit the 3-run bomb off of in Milwaukee 2 years ago to win the wild card series. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember. Oh, I remember.
It was my favorite baseball moment.
It was yes.
It was a 3-run bomb heard around the world.
It is his calling card right now.
So we signed that guy 3 years, $51 million, $17 million a year. Okay. He was upset that they didn't give him a heads up about that.
Even though he would still be the closer.
That guy would be the 8th inning guy.
Yeah.
But after about a day hearing so many different opinions, I don't think he wanted to stay. Because if he wanted to stay, he would have come back and said, they offered me 69.
If all it took was $3 million to get him out the door,
he wanted to go.
He probably didn't want to stay.
It's like how last year when the Yankees offered Soto 16 years, 765, the Mets offered him 15 years, 767, and he came to the Mets. He didn't want to stay there.
Yeah, he must.
If he did, he would have said, "Hey,
because
give me an extra year."
You don't leave over $3 to $5 million.
No way.
If it's that close, you're going where you want to go.
And you go back and say, "Hey, give me a little more because I want it to be even, whatever." So he didn't want to stay.
No.
Pete Alonso, that one was a little tougher pill to swallow because I don't think the contract he got was that crazy.
Yeah,
5 years, $150 million.
I don't think it was. $30 million a year. Basically.
Well, I mean, it's the highest paid first baseman in baseball.
Well, he has numbers that put him in that category.
Well, he's not better than Freddie Freeman.
What's Freeman making?
Not 30, maybe 25.
But he's also on a roster with Mookie Betts and some guy named Ohtani.
Well, they also paid him 3 years ago. With the money with different.
Given what they're paying the other two, and the closers, and
so then it comes out, Mets never made him an offer.
They didn't even make him an offer.
Mm-mm. The Mets did not make Pete Alonso homegrown Mr. Met, basically.
Yeah.
Picked him in the second round in whatever it was, 2018.
They didn't make him an offer.
Didn't make him an offer. He won the Rookie of the Year, set the rookie home run record, beat out Aaron Judge, 53 bombs in his first year. He set the franchise record, beat Darryl Strawberry, and we didn't make him an offer. That kind of hurts. And it's just kind of like, what the fuck?
That's kind of insulting.
Okay,
if you're Pete Alonso, you're insulted. You're kind of insulted.
Well, they basically did that to him last year. The only reason he came back was nobody else offered him anything last year. So finally, Cohen and Stearns flew down to Tampa and said, "Look, we want you back, but here's what they gave him $30 million. They made him the highest paid annual, but they gave him 2 years with an option after one. So he took it. He had a career year. He hit 30-something bombs, 126 RBIs, and the Orioles, which I don't know how good of a signing it is for them, but 2 years ago the Orioles were good. Last year,
the Orioles were kind of one of the bigger disappointments,
right? So maybe it will be
with the Mets. Okay.
So now we talk about
that's a lot of holes you've got.
What the Mets have been. Okay, and we talk about after. So it's funny because I went from pissed and like you have no clue what you're doing to like. After hearing so many people talk through it, and some people are pissed like me, some people were seeing the baseball side of it. So I think I'm kind of to a point where I'm starting to see that. And that's why I say I'm in the bargaining. Because I'm almost bargaining with my own mind to understand it.
Sure.
Okay? Because there has been talk for the past few years, basically 3.5 years, maybe 4 years, that the Mets needed to change their core. Their core is...
Or was.
Well, yeah, the core was Lindor, Alonso, Nimmo, Jeff McNeil, Okay, and then they added Juan Soto to that. Now, last year, apparently they had a lot of locker room issues. And they've had locker room issues for a few years. And every time the Mets have been in the tank, we've always talked about the fact that they don't seem to have a leader.
True.
Okay. Francisco Lindor kind of emerged. Then last year, Soto came in and things got weird again. Like there's not a true leader because Lindor and Soto don't really get along. Soto's kind of a loner. So I'm starting to realize like these things didn't happen by accident.
Nope.
They wanted to get rid of Brandon Nimmo. He's an aging player who had 5 years left on his deal, I think. They didn't want to re-sign Pete because, again, he's an aging player. And I think they didn't like his defense at first. They don't feel like he's going to
ascend.
They think he's going to descend.
Yeah.
And they need flexibility on a roster where you sign Juan Soto for 15 years. If anybody's going to go to DH, it's going to be him. But he's still got
years.
Yeah,
at least.
But when I think about the money they freed up by not signing Pete, now, okay, so I started thinking about what could they do, and I'm hearing things. So they could trade for this Scooble guy and sign him with the prospects they have.
Sure.
They could go to Japan. There's two big stars in Japan right now. One of them's a pitcher who said, I want to beat the Dodgers. Guy from Japan said that. So he's not like the rest of the group from Japan that has joined the Dodgers.
Japan East.
This guy's like, fuck that. They haven't. He said they don't need me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I like that. That's a guy you need to try to capitalize on. They also have a third/first baseman who hits bombs. And I'm like, okay, well, now that you've made room, maybe that's where you go. The tough one to swallow is if you just got rid of them and now we're resetting back to zero, you can't do that in New York.
Well,
you can't reset back to zero. Reset back to...
I wouldn't say they're back to zero because they still have talent on the roster. It's not like the cupboard's bare, but you have to build around it. You said it yourself. They had to get rid of... They believed they had got the core. Well, that's essentially what they've done.
They flipped the core.
Because
now you really just have Lindor and Soto.
Yeah, that's kind of it. So,
I mean, Jeff McNeil's there, but he was never a major piece the way those other guys were. But here's the thing. You don't have a center fielder. You don't have a left fielder. You don't have a first baseman. You're shaky at third base. It's like, well, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Where do you go? I know maybe two young guys could fill a couple of those gaps, but don't reset back to zero. And I don't think they will because Steve Cohen came out and said, look, there's plenty of time left in this offseason to build a team.
Sure.
Now,
and they've got plenty of money.
And they've got plenty of money. And they have a farm system that they've been building to use for trades.
Yeah, I mean, the coach in me says, wait this thing out and see what they
do.
Because it looks bad now, but this is chapter one.
Exactly.
Looks like a reload, not a rebuild, a reload.
Right.
Because a rebuild, you're dumping everybody. They're not doing that.
It's really a reset. Hang on a second.
Yeah. So I wouldn't. And by the way, for whatever reason, I don't know if we'll ever know the truth. That team underperformed the last 2 years. Yeah. So it's kind of hard. It's
not the last 2 years.
More than that.
2 out of the last 3
years.
So 2 years ago is when they had the magical run.
Yeah.
But it was a magical run. It wasn't sustainable.
No. And obviously that's bared out. So
exactly.
What I would say, and I saw these moves and I was thinking kind of what he was thinking. What the hell are they doing?
What the fuck? Yeah.
And but hearing this side of it, which I figured if there was a layer to this, and if there was one, he was going to reveal it. You have to play the waiting game if you're a fan and see, okay, they've got this money, let's see what they do. Because again, if they make these moves and they do nothing, then you got something to bitch about.
Right.
But if they make these moves and they bring in younger, better talent,
Can't argue.
You can't argue with it.
Yeah.
Because that group didn't, for whatever reason, didn't get it done.
And that's
They didn't
what
get
it comes
done.
down to.
So it's not like
that group has been there for years now.
It's not like with the Celtics where if they didn't overpay Jaylen Brown, they wouldn't have had to re-gut the roster. Now, that's another topic for another day, but
they got a title though.
They got a title, though. That's what makes it worse because they should have kept that group together. It wasn't done.
Yeah.
They did it for money reasons, not because they couldn't compete.
Yeah,
it was money reasons because they misspent their money, which drives you up a fucking wall as a fan because a billionaire is supposed to have a clue how to spend money. They're billionaires. The billionaires tend to not lose money, okay, or just throw it away aimlessly. So that's a whole story for a different day. This isn't about the Celtics, so this is about the Mets. But I'm just saying if the Mets had won a title and then something like that happened, I'd be more pissed. I'd be more pissed because that team, in the case of the Celtics, had more to go. The Celtics' best core was in its prime. Or is in its prime right now.
Celtics were the best team in the league for
3 years. 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years. They got one title to show for it.
That sucks.
From a roster perspective, they had the best roster in the league 4 years in a row and got one title to show for it, which is what I'm pissed about. But then again, they don't play the game the right way, and that's why they lose. So, but that's another story from the day. The point is with the Mets, you got to wait and see.
Right.
They freed up a ton of money.
They haven't had the best roster.
No.
The year they went to the NLCS, it was a miracle. It was beautiful. But the one thing that I've been clamoring for, and we talked about this a lot, I want a team that can sustain consistent success. You're not going to win a championship every year, but every year you're fighting for it. You're in the playoffs, and in baseball, with the amount of wild cards now, with the payroll we have, the resources we have, the market, there's no reason the Mets can't be there every year.
You have to, and again, baseball is a little different, but
because of the farm.
You can build through you have a farm system you can actually build through. The NBA does have a D League, and they can,
but it's nowhere near.
It's not the depth of the farm system in Major League Baseball. It's not. You can get some players down there and build them. And the Myers Kate is a perfect example. The Celtics have done this, by the way, successfully. I might add, with 2 different players now. So it can be done. But with baseball, where you've got a farm staff pitching staff, and a farm staff first baseman, and a farm staff catcher, and you can
use the farm to acquire talent.
Yes.
You can also use the farm to develop your own. It's a combination. And if we truly want sustained success, we have to let this guy do his fucking job. Because he had sustained success in Milwaukee, building teams the way he builds them. Now, true, he's in New York with more money. He needs to adjust. He's adjusting. I mean, we just gave fucking Soto $1 billion last year.
Again, I think he'll spend. The Soto signing proves he'll spend.
He is.
Maybe he's trying to spend wisely, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And here's the thing about building sustained success: giving big money and long years to guys who are 31, 32. That's not going to do it.
Depends on who it is.
They got to be special. Now, Pete might have been special.
I don't know that Pete. I don't know you're going to replace him very easily.
Well,
there are other guys. I mean,
you're not going to replace Pete.
No.
Somebody brought up a good.
And by the way, the fans loved him.
Oh man, Pete was our fucking
he was
guy.
Beloved. It's a twofold. With him, it's a two-part. You better have somebody. If not in the farm, you better get a guy. Like we got the Roman Empire coming up. You better find somebody like that. Because who's young and supremely talented.
But Pete was also a community guy.
I'm saying.
He lived in Manhattan.
Yeah, you got to have the...
Yeah. him and his wife got married there. They have a kid. He was a man through and through.
Yeah, he was ingratiated in the community. And this is the thing about Roman Anthony. He's already doing it.
Yeah,
and Drake May's doing it with the Patriots. And Brady did it. So it's like, no, if you're going to have sustained success, your big-time players have to be like that. Mm-hmm. Because you can be supremely talented. See A-Rod. A-Rod never ingratiated himself into anywhere, though. He was a mercenary. That's what he was. He went to the highest bidder. He was never about a community. He's about, I'm the best player in the world, pay me. Yeah. And that's all he cared about. And that's inevitably why he never reached his potential, I believe, as a player. I think he underachieved. And I'm not talking about his individual stats. I'm talking about as a player, he never reached the heights that a guy of his talent should have reached.
No, he's also insecure.
That's the other thing.
I mean, because when you're using when you're that good and you're using steroids,
Barry Bonds.
Right. It's like, Dude, you're good enough, man.
Yeah, you don't need steroids.
Just fucking be
Just
you.
be you.
I mean, you're
Be you.
amazing.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, but this is a narcissist. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. And Alonso, by all accounts, is the opposite of that.
Alonso's not that.
So that's why, to me, the problem is twofold. You got to find a young up and coming buck who has that mentality.
But here's the thing.
I'm not saying he's not out there. You got to find him.
So here's the thing. Somebody brought up a good point today. This is a guy I talk about a lot, Evan Roberts, on the New York station I listen to. He said, "You don't replace players like this. You change. You become a different type of team." So, okay, where's our pitching? Because if you're just going to lose, now whoever they put in there is not going to hit 0 home runs, but they're not going to hit 38. Let's say they hit 20. So you lose 18 home runs. Brandon Nimmo in left field, he'd get you 25 home runs. Let's say the other guy that you bring in hits 15. Okay, now you've lost basically 30 home runs. So
where do you make up that 30 runs?
Right. And maybe it's
plus
with
RBIs.
A pitching staff.
Obviously.
Okay.
Great hitting will obviously offset or beat great pitching.
And look,
history is bare born.
Here's the thing. If the Mets go and get Tariq Skubal and sign him to a 6-year deal, and then sign a big bat or trade for a bat, now it's a whole different story.
Yep.
And you're like, and then you add that to the young pitching they Nolan McClain.
You don't have a true ace.
No.
You need one badly.
No,
You've been screaming about this for 2 years.
Our true ace has pitched for 2 months.
Yeah.
He's not yet proven.
He's not an ace.
He's not yet proven.
He's a wannabe ace.
Well, he's on his way.
Not if you get Skubal. Well, yeah.
Well, we could have 1A and 1B.
That would be great. That'd be the best of both worlds. But you still got to go get him. And trust me, they have the money. Mm-hmm. I don't think this is going to be about money. It's going to be, does Skubal want to come to New York? Does he want to play in that market? That's a question I can't answer. But the Mets have the resources to get him.
He seems like a dog, dude.
What he seems like, a lot of guys seem like a dog.
That's not true.
No, it's true. A lot of guys seem like a dog until it matters most. Then you find out who the dogs really are.
No, but I mean, this guy was in the playoffs last year pitching.
Why did he make the fucking playoffs? That doesn't make you a dog. It's what you do in the playoffs.
That's what I'm talking about.
What do you do?
He was a fucking monster. Pitched 8 innings in a fucking closeout game.
Skubal?
Yes.
Skubal?
He beat the fucking Guardians in Cleveland. Detroit went in there and won. He was a monster.
He beat Cleveland. Doesn't pass the smell test. He did that to the Dodgers or Milwaukee.
2-time Cy Young.
Look at this individual. The A-Rod's led the league in home runs. I mean, there are guys like this. Okay? And I'm saying he
called A-Rod a dog.
I'm not saying he can't beat Cleveland. Can he beat the Dodgers? Can he beat a team like that? The Brewers and the teams like that of the world. Yeah. So, I mean, we don't know that yet because he hasn't been on a stage against those guys in the playoffs yet. We don't know that yet. You say that, but you don't know. Don't tell me Cleveland is the Dodgers. They ain't the Dodgers.
I mean, come on.
They're light years from the Dodgers. Dude, and we found that out, didn't we? Because the Dodgers basically just put it
the way third. This guy pitches, the way he pitches, he's not a fucking diva. Okay. He's a fucking bulldog.
Well, let's see if you get him. If you get him, we'll talk about it. Because right now, this is a pipe dream. It's not because the money's not there. Are they going to get him?
Well, it's because the Dodgers might get him.
Yeah.
But, dude, I'm sorry. If you're him and you go to the Dodgers, you aren't a dog.
I'm saying you don't know what he is yet.
You're a cat.
He could very well do that.
You want to go sit on a pillow.
He could very well do that.
I mean, go be the leader of a staff. You go there, you're with 5 aces.
You don't know. You don't know that he's a dog. I hope you're right. I'd rather him go to the Mets than the Dodgers. Anywhere but the fucking Dodgers. And the Yankees, of course.
The fact that we're talking about the Mets like there's some kind of small market team.
They're not.
Because these goddamn Dodgers are like the new evil empire.
The Dodgers are they're the Yankees West. That's what they've become. We said they'd win 3 of the next 4. They've won 2. We weren't wrong. They're going to win another one next year.
If they don't win
3. We said 3 of the next 4. It's a bust. Well, they've got 2 already. Okay,
somebody needs to grow up here and beat them.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Toronto was on the fucking doorstep and choked.
Toronto had them.
I mean, they were up 1 in the 9th.
They had them. If you're up 1 in the 9th, it's yours to lose. They wet themselves. They loafed. They did.
And it wasn't even a star that hit the
No,
tying
that's the
home
worst
run.
part about it. I mean, one
It
thing,
was
if
Miguel Rojas.
Ohtani hit it, you're like, you had to pitch to him if the bases are loaded or whatever. But I mean, you know.
But that's what happens on these star-laden teams.
Yeah.
There's some fucking guy who just, he's got nothing to lose. He's out there just busting his ass, like Miguel Rojas, who's a solid player, a good player, but he hits a fucking bomb, ties it up, and then they win.
Yeah. So, but when you're around players like Betts and Ohtani, sometimes shit rubs off. Because the Dodgers, say what you want about the Dodgers, those guys were also dogs. Right. It's one thing to be talented. Ohtani is a fucking bull, okay, and so is fucking Mookie Betts, okay.
Freddie Freeman,
and they got dogs. They remind me a lot of the 03, 04 Patriots.
Dude, Yamamoto pitched Game 6 and then came back out and closed Game 7 the next day.
They had dogs. They had
set.
You need this thing. You're going to need a team of dogs to beat dogs. That team is not. It's not just their talent. They've got it where it counts.
Well, dude, the Blue Jays, they were
right there. It was a great World Series. The Blue Jays almost beat them. They probably should have beat them, but
what are you going to do?
That's what dogs do, man. So
anyway. So I'm not as off the rails as you might think about.
Actually, I'm relieved to hear that because I thought I was going to have to talk you off the list.
Because the fact of the matter is, what have they won with these guys?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Nope. And to me, that's the rebuttal.
I mean,
how many rings are on their fingers? Nothing.
Dude, 3 years ago, no, maybe it's 4 years ago, they went to the playoffs. They won 101 games, went to the playoffs, and got bounced at home to the Padres in a 3-game series.
Yeah.
The next year, shit their pants, sold everybody. Year after that, were the worst team in baseball for 2 months, then went on a miracle run, made the NLCS. This year, best team in baseball for 2 months, and then for the last 4, were one of the most pathetic displays of professional baseball.
Very slow.
I've ever seen.
The kind of death I'd hope for Donald Trump, honestly.
Right, the kind of death you'd only wish on someone like
Donald Trump. So anyway, that's gonna do it for a second. When we come back to the NFL top 10 list, new one. We got some discussions, some movers and shakers this week, America. The Houston Texans. And by the way, I told you guys, I didn't want to be the Arizona Cardinals. I don't think they can sit down yet. Anyway, segment 2 coming right up.
Falcons, Bucks, no